When people say it doesn't rain in Sequim, they're only partly joking. We have a very effective rain shadow called the Olympic Mountains, and we are lucky to have the soils of an ancient floodplain which very effectively soak up the rain. If it doesn't soak into the ground, rainwater gets a bad name: stormwater runoff. Sequim utilizes infiltration facilities, so we don't have to deal with as much runoff as many cities, but we still have our share. Unfortunately, storm runoff often contains contaminants like bacteria, hydrocarbons, and heavy metals that are collected from yards and roadways. Our stormwater is usually out of sight and out of mind, unless the system isn't working or isn't maintained, and then it's hard not to see the puddles collecting and runoff hitting our streets, streams, and bay. How does Public Works prepare for and manage stormwater? Traditionally, our street sweeper passes through Sequim streets several times a year, collecting road debris before it enters the environment and also protecting our infrastructure. We now have 2 vac trucks with jet hoses for use in the sewer system and the stormwater system. These catch basins catch road debris and pollutants before they enter our infiltration lines and dry wells, such as this one. Some box stores contract out routine inspections and maintenance of their expensive systems, but we don't know whether this is happening throughout the city, as our code requires. Responding to storm events keeps us on our toes, watching the weather and checking culverts and trash grates on ditches to keep them from clogging and flooding. But when they do, crews manage the flooded roadways, whether liquid or frozen. Assisting with fires involves managing the fire flow runoff to avoid flooding and putting sock filters in storm drains to avoid groundwater contamination. In recent years, and with grant funding and stormwater master planning underway, Public Works began using green infrastructure techniques, such as porous asphalt and permeable pavers. We have improved maintenance of city-owned stormwater ponds and facilities installed in our right-of-way that have special filter inserts. Our grant project includes a good deal of outreach and public involvement. Since January, our volunteers have measured flows from the county into the city in road ditches, irrigation ditches, and streams. We bought a new camera and started working more closely with irrigation managers, including this investigation of their culvert system between Penny's and Safeway. This is of concern to the city since flows from big storms can create problems underground, spilling water onto city streets. One solution we found involves letting irrigation ditch overflow spill into the bypass cut, as it was designed to do. This way, the highest flows from the county go to the DOT storage pond instead of straight into the city. So-called green infrastructure is the new paradigm. Integrating stormwater management with parks and open space, streets, and other capital projects benefiting community health, controlling pollution, and providing resilience against drought. Stormwater is an important resource that we want to harvest before it rushes to the sea. Several recent programs mentioned before are a good start, but funding to continue some of that work ends when our grant expires next year. The draft Storm and Surface Water Plan provides recommendations to pull together the city's stewardship of water quality and water quantity. Sequim's tradition is truer than ever. You're the place where water is wealth.